you are watching from. Do me a favor as you guys are coming in and let me know what city and state you are watching from. If you guys have any questions, come on in and let me know. I am actually getting ready to cook my dinner right now. And I said, let me just go ahead and go live for a few minutes. I wanted to remind you guys of the study session that I have coming up this Saturday. So the next study session is going to be on this Saturday, which is going to be, what is that, May 2nd, I think it is. Is that May 2nd? So for those of you that are preparing for certification, those of you that's preparing for certification, or if you just need help while you are still in school, this study session is going to be for you. Let me know as you guys come in. Let me know what part of the process. Hey, Money Mad Max, as you guys come in, let me know what your status is. Are you getting ready for certification? Are you still in school? Are you already a seasoned MA? Let me know. My session on Saturday may be for you. Hey, Soraya, it's good to see you, Soraya. I haven't seen you in a while. It's so good to see you. Thank you for chiming in, Soraya. Let me know in the comments. Okay, Kanisha says still in school. Let me know. So for those of you that's preparing for certification, well, for those of you that's in school and not yet preparing for certification, I would only say sign up for the study session if you need help while you're in school. Like, I wouldn't want you to start getting ready for the study session too soon. I mean, ready for certification too soon. So you wouldn't necessarily want to get in on the study session unless you need help while you're actually in school. So Saturday study session might not be for you. Soraya, you said you're getting ready for EKG. Okay, so I know that's right. Stock those credentials. So for those of you that's watching, you may see Soraya chiming in the comments. She is already a certified MA. She took my refresher course. She used to be on the channel every day. Every time I would go live, she would be on here. And she's certified now, but she just shared that she's going to take her EKG certification, and I highly recommend that. Stock your credentials, guys, as much as you can. I highly recommend that. So that's good, Soraya. Who else we got? Soraya, if you still watching, can you do me a favor and type in the comments the website www.marefreshercourse.com. Sandra Walker wanted to know what the link was. But Sandra, honestly, if you just type in www.marefreshercourse.com, it'll take you to it. And then you just have to make sure you choose on the administrative course. So for those of you that's getting ready for certification, if you're taking the administrative course, just make sure you choose the administrative one. And then if you're taking an exam like the CCMA, the RMA, or the CMA, AAMA, then you would get the clinical course, okay? So if you just go to www, and anybody can type it. I know I asked Soraya, but anybody can type it. But if you just go to www.marefreshercourse.com and then choose the administrative course, it'll come right up for you. And anybody can put that in the chat. And then Saturday, I have a group study session coming up on Zoom. So 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to try to start these back up again every month. I had one last month, but I hadn't done it in April. So we're going to do one on Saturday. I believe that is May 2nd. And that's at bookwithmissk.com. Let me see. Thinking about taking the next step. I'm a PCT. Yeah. If you're talking about thinking about becoming a medical assistant, yeah, I highly recommend it. Especially if you're already working as a PCT, you can use it as a stepping stone to whatever else you want to do next. Hey, Jaylee. Jaylee, remind me of your real name. I remember you shared it with me once before. A little joke I made myself. What do you call a healthcare worker who sticks needles in people's butts? A phlebotomist. Oh, that's a good one. A phlebotomist. That is a good one. Hey, Hawana too. 15 weeks last semester. Awesome, Sandra. Hey, Random Thoughts with Leah. Amy says, I passed with the 409. Congratulations. Do you have any advice for CCMA? Are you saying for the certification? Do me a favor and let me know, Random Thoughts. Are you saying for the actual certification exam? Oh, I need some more for you. Hold on, guys. I'm in the middle of cooking. If you just joined me, I'm live and I'm in the middle of cooking. I'm about to put my chicken in the oven. Hold on, I need to grab some more for you. Hold on 1 second. Random Thoughts, let me know what you mean. Oh, yes. Okay. So, for people that's taking certification, first of all, I hope you have the study material. If you don't already have the study material, you should have it either directly from the website or my MA refresher course. So, that's the biggest thing, making sure you have the study material. Set a schedule on the days you're going to study by topic. You know, today you may say, okay, I'm going to go over phlebotomy today from 2 to 4 or whatever. Well, if 2 to 4 is already gone. Well, it's tonight from 7 to 9. I'm going to go over the phlebotomy portion or EKG or whatever. So set your time, set a schedule, and then guard your time when you set that schedule, because the hardest part is sticking to it. So make sure you turn your phone off. Make sure you TV off and all of that. And when you set that schedule, just make sure you do whatever you have to do to stick to it. Even if you say, okay, I'm gonna do 7 to 9 and something comes up, don't skip that day. Now it's just about, okay, I couldn't do it from 7 to 9. Now I got to do it from 9 to 11 or whatever. But you have to set a goal to study every single day or every other day. You don't want to overwhelm yourself either. And then make sure you, like I said, the study material, set a schedule. Make sure you have the test plan for the test you're going to be taking. You can simply go to Google, and you're taking a CCMA. So you could literally simply go to Google and look up CCMA test plan, and you can download it. Hold on 1 second. You can download the test plan, or you can simply go to NHA Now, where you register to take the test, and you can download the test plan from there. And then also, I have a whole playlist on the channel called Study Tips. So you can look there for more information on some more study tips. But that's the biggest thing, making sure you have the study material, set a schedule, and then download the test plan. And sorry guys, I'm kind of all over the place because I just got off work and I'm just trying to get my dinner started really quickly. But I wanted to go live to remind you guys about the study session that I have coming up on this Saturday. Somebody said I like the shirt. Thank you. This is actually one of my shirts, actually. So you guys, I don't promote them a lot, but I have multiple t-shirt designs at shopwithmizk.com. Ms. K is MIZZK. If you go to shop with mizzk.com, I have medical assistant. I should have had my stethoscope necklace on, but I have a stethoscope necklace that I sell that you could customize with your name on it. And then I have different medical assistant t-shirts as well. One of them says medical assistant loading for students. Then I have another one with nutrition facts. So everything that a medical assistant should have: patients. What else? It says reliable, a bunch of other stuff, professional, a bunch of other stuff that a medical assistant should have. So you guys can check that out. Let's see what else you guys are saying. It's only for the medical assistant clinical side, the study session? No, for either one. So Sandra asks, is a study session for only the clinical side? No, so for either one, no matter what certification you're getting prepared for, you can sign up. And then when you sign up, there's a notes section where you can actually put in the notes what you need help with. And I recommend everybody putting those notes in, because sometimes people will say everything, but I need to know exactly what you sign up for. So if you do sign up, don't just put everything, put exactly what you want to go over. So if you're saying that you are on the administrative side, then in the notes you will put administrative, and then whatever you want to go over, like CPT, ICD-10 code, and accounting, whatever it is you want to go over. But that's very important to put in the notes what you want to go over, so I can be prepared. So I took the baseline practice test today. We've only been in class for 3 weeks. Today's the 4th week, and I got a 63. Okay, that's normal, Brenda. when you're starting out, it is normal to get a low score. I kind of expect it because it's your first time. Your baseline is usually going to be your lowest score. The goal is for your score to go up each time you take your test. So when you take your test again, your score should be higher. Why should it be higher? Because before you go and take another test, you want to look at your focus review, and it's going to show you what areas you scored the lowest in, and you want to go back and restudy those areas before you take another practice test. And so that way your score is going to be higher the next time. You're going to keep getting the same score if you don't study in between. That's one of the mistakes that a lot of people make. They take all of these practice tests and get the same score, but whole time they didn't study in between each one. So you have to study in between each one. You have to look at your focus review to see where you're falling short, and then you got to study those areas. So you notice EKG you scored the lowest on, you need to go back to the study material and review EKG again. Do not take another test without studying those low areas, okay? But I kind of expect that 63, sometimes it's even lower than that for the first baseline score. And for those of you that's watching, do me a favor, guys, like the video. If you just that's just a quick way to support my channel. Just like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. I would say that coming up to your test, use all the study material. I got mine straight from the website. Thank you for sharing this Amy, and have a schedule for studying double. Oh, James, also I read your book page. Oh, James, that's right. I'm sorry for forgetting, James. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm glad you read it. My classes start on June 1st. I know I've said this before, but I feel like I owed a lot. Thank you so much, James. And I didn't know you hadn't started your classes yet. So you got here early. You started early. Know your terminology. Yes. Is that Amaya or Amy? I don't know if that's Amaya or Amy A. She says, know your terminology also, because that will be a dead giveaway for some of the questions. You are giving some good pointers in the chat, and I just want to double down on that. I want to piggyback on that, because terminology is your foundation. So sometimes some questions you get that you may not know is going to be your terminology knowledge that's going to help you know that question. So I always use an example of electroencephalogram, right? When you see that written out, it looks like a long word, but then when you notice encephalo within the word, you'll know, oh, that has something to do with the brain. So at least you'll kind of have an idea what the question is asking about when you know your terminology. Like, you know, cardio is heart, you know, nephro is kidney, or renal is kidney. So when you know your terminology, you at least know what body system or what body part they're talking about. My material is the NHA website. Yeah, so you will go to nhanow.com. You can find the study session. You can find the test plan there, or you could just go to Google. So tips on NCCT, it's the same tips that I gave a few minutes ago for the CCMA. And guys, remember, I mentioned this quite often. All of these exams, they ask the same type of questions. So when people ask me, do your videos help with this exam and that exam, or do you have tips for this exam versus this one? They all ask the same type of questions, because as a medical assistant, there's just certain things you have to know. And so they all ask you, the same content is on all of the tests. So when people ask me, is my videos for all of the tests? Yes. Is my MA refresher course for all of the tests? Yes. You even can get a study guide on one of the websites to prepare for another certification, because they all ask the same type of questions. So, order draw, EKG, some dosage calculations, some of the questions when it comes to assisting with the provider, like knowing how to do things like suture removal, staple removals, like they all ask the same type of questions. I had to take the Wonder Lick to get accepted in my program. My advisor told me I had to score at least a 17. I'm not exactly sure what that test is. Yeah, some schools, they do have placement tests. I'm not familiar with the Wonder Lick. There's different kind. The school that I formerly was working at before I relocated down here to Georgia, they had a test that they required. I can't even, now I don't forgot the name of the test, but yeah, some schools, they do have a placement exam that you have to take. Random Thought says, I got my practice test from NHA. I got 65, but a 74 on the first. Perfect. So this person, I just was talking about that. Somebody said they only got a 63. So this person, random thoughts, shared that she got a 65 and then she got a 74, and that's the goal. The goal is to see your score go up each time. You don't want to keep taking your practice test and you're getting the same score, but that's going to happen if you're not studying in between. Where do you sign up? If you're talking about this session for Saturday, it's at bookwithmissk.com. And it's that first, I think it's the first link you'll see. It's going to say virtual group study session. So for anybody that want to sign up for Saturday, it's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. You got to get on Zoom because you got to be there live because I don't do a replay. And then you got to have your cameras on so we can all see each other. It's always small. Sometimes it could be as little as just 2 people that sign up or as big as 20 people. You know, I've had as many as 20 people on there at one time. So it just kind of depends. I've had classes where it just was 2 people, but I keep it like that where we all turn our cameras on so we can protect the integrity of the meeting and know that everybody's on there is who they are, is who they say they are, and then also providing a safe space. Okay, it's a study session, but it's bookwithmissk.com, missmsk.com, and it's the virtual. Oh, matter of fact, it should be in the description of this video too, random. If it's not, I know it's in a previous video, but I think when I go live, it automatically populates. So you could check this description or maybe the video before this one. Next test is May 5th. Got you. So you should see your score go up the next time. Amy. Okay, so it is Amy. We haven't even covered any of that, what was on the baseline test just yet. Oh, so you guys, Brenda, it sounds like you guys are taking the practice test while you're in the program. And that is true. I usually tell my students, sometimes when you take those practice tests, you want to see stuff that you haven't learned yet, because a lot of it is stuff you're going to learn with the study material. That's the downside to some medical assistant programs. I'll be honest with you guys. Some programs don't really prepare you for the certification. It's really the study material, because sometimes even the stuff you learn in school is sometimes different from what you'll see on certification. This is why you have to have the study material. I've been asked, Miss K, is my textbook enough? It's not enough, because like I said, sometimes it's different. And then there's going to be some stuff on certification that your book may not cover. The best thing for you to do, guys, is to get the study material for the test you're going to take, or you can get my MA refresher course. When I created that, it's an online study guide. I use the test plan. I use the CMAA test plan. I use the CCMA, the RMA. I use multiple test plans to create it so I can make sure I was covering what's going to be on the actual test. Not a textbook, not PowerPoints, the actual study material, because it's different. So that's why sometimes when you go take your practice test, you'll see stuff that you haven't even learned in class yet, because you have to study that study material. Is that Lil Yaya says, I'm in school for CCMA and wanted to know if I would be able to also get my cert as a phlebotomist and EKG along with the CCMA. You should be able to. Check with your school. So with my former school, as long as you were in school for medical assistant, you could take the phlebotomy exam and EKG exam. So just check with your school and make sure. But I'm pretty sure you can. If you go to NHA, you definitely can take it, because all you have to do is look at the eligibility requirements, and they are pretty easy. I think I would say, guys, if you're ever wondering which one is the easiest to obtain, it's going to be the CCMA, because they have less requirements. So that's really the easiest one to go get, because sometimes people will say, Miss K, I've been out of school for a long time, I never got certified. Which one should I go get? I usually say CCMA because it's the easiest one, because you only need a year experience if you've been out of school for a long time, as long as you've been working at least a year. Also, if you've been working in the capacity of a medical assistant but you never get to school, you can be eligible. So you should be able to do phlebotomy EKG as well. Hey Sharon, and sorry guys if I missed anybody's question. I'm going in the order that I see them coming up. So if you know that I skipped over you by accident, you can put it in the chat again, but I'm trying to go in the order that they pop up. Do you do in-class refresher courses? Keisha is asking. So no, I don't. I just relocated to Georgia. I have talked about possibly doing something in person eventually, but I'm still getting acclimated to the area, still getting settled. So maybe eventually, of course, that's not going to do you no good if you're not in Georgia. But no, I don't do any in class. But it's definitely something that I've thought about. Congratulations, Sharon, on the first try. Okay, congratulations. Passing score for CCMA is 390. If you're taking the RMA, what is it? It's 80, I believe, the RMA. And then the CMA AAMA, that passing score, I believe, is a 405. What advice would you have doing a blood draw on somebody who's scared of needles and no blood? That's a good question. So, someone that is nervous or scared, first of all, I'll let them pick their arm. Let me know which arm you want me to do it in. And I used to work in at LabCorp as a phlebotomist. I worked in the lab, and we would get a lot of people like that. And so I just would give them a choice. And you want to do that anyway. Ask, do they have an arm preference? So I would ask them where do they normally get it. And then there were even times where we had to kind of let them sit for a little bit and go to the next person because they just weren't ready yet. But really just seeing which arm they want to do, asking them if they need to lay down because some people they get so nervous and so worked up that they may faint. And hint hint, that's actually a test question. If you get somebody that faints, what do you do before you draw their blood? You lay them down. If that's an option where you work, and so giving them the option to lay down, and then just kind of talking to them and then just letting them know that it's going to be quick. I would never say it's not going to hurt, because of course that's a lie. It is probably going to be a pinch. So yeah, just giving them that option, just giving them time, talking them through it. Anybody else that's here and you guys draw blood and you want to offer some advice on that for James, you guys can chime in the comments. But that's really it. Just, I mean, because it got to get done. We can't really prolong it too much. Like I said, sometimes we had times where we had to let the patient wait a little bit, but it's like they can't wait all day. They got to get it done. So just offering them to lay down if they tend to get so worked up that they faint, giving them that option. And I usually try to have them not look at the needle as well, because for some people they're okay until they see the needle. What's that noise out there? Oh, that must be a truck or I don't know if you guys can hear that noise. That must be a truck or something. What was I saying? Oh, sometimes I also try not to let them see the needle as well. And then I kind of talk to them and I don't let them know when it's about to go in because I don't want them to jump. Because I know I used to be afraid of needles. And if you tell me 1, 2, ready, and it made me even more scared to know you're about to do it. I would rather you just talk to me. Like I know you're about to do it, but just talk to me. Let me look away and then just do it. But if you say, okay, ready, now I'm about to do it, it made me even more even more afraid. So that's maybe something you don't want to do too. So far it's been hard getting a job. I passed on 3-6. So I just discussed that in previous videos recently. You guys that's having a hard time looking for employment, try some recruiting agencies in your area. This is what they get paid to do. I'm actually considering starting a recruiting agency. I've been thinking about it for a couple of years now. But they get paid to help you find a job. So search for recruiting agencies for medical assistant in your area. Also, of course, Indeed, LinkedIn, all of those employment websites, and then going around to some private offices in your area. Guys, I'm about to make my rice real quick. Let me move this over. For those of you that just joined, I am currently cooking dinner right now. So you probably see me kind of moving all over the place. So I'm asking you guys right now to forgive me as I'm moving all over the place. Let's see if any other questions came up. Quism, hey Quism. Nice to see you, Quism. Actually, I did not mean to use this pot for this. Where's my other pot? that's what happens when you're cooking and on live. Last time I was on live and cooking, I ended up messing up my food, but I ain't gonna do that this time. How are you, Quasum? Guys, I'm about to put some broccoli on. Let me get my butter. Y'all, I done invited y'all into my home tonight while I'm getting dinner ready. But this is what I'm making. I'm just making some chicken, some broccoli, and just some rice, some brown rice. Something easy and quick for the weekday. He says I would like some help on what I need to study and what videos to watch. Also, I need help getting into studying lately. I've been not wanting to like. Okay, hold on one second. Let me put this in. I got you, Sadie. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So, let me turn this on real quick. So, Sadie says I've been feeling like I've been wanting to avoid it. And that happens, especially with things that you struggle with. I would say, Tady, and this is for anybody that seems like they're avoiding studying, it's probably because something you're struggling with. And I usually tell people, whatever you find yourself avoiding, I want you to consider running to that topic. So if you find yourself avoiding dosage calculations, you go straight to that topic to study, because a lot of times that's why you're avoiding it, because you struggle with it. So I would say think about the areas where you struggle with, and go to those areas. If it's EKG, phlebotomy, or whatever, go to those areas and study them. As far as like what to study, this depends on how long before you take your test. So I did a video just recently and I talked about this very thing. When you're trying to figure out where to start, it depends on how much time you have. If you have some time, like you got some months before your test coming up, or maybe even a month, you could just really just start from the beginning. When you get your study material, you have, if you get my refresher course, it has 12 modules. You just start from 12 from module 1. You watch the content, get the lesson, and then take the quiz, and then move on to the next one. But as you're going through it, just make sure you're absorbing the information. So as you're going through it, just make sure you use the test plan, you're checking off everything that you learn, and making sure you're grasping the information before you go to the next topic. So if you have time, just start start from the beginning. If you are on crunch time and your test is coming up like within the next couple of weeks or so, and you got to hurry up, then you start with the areas that you struggle with. So you start with your weak areas, like if it's phlebotomy or whatever, you go through that part of the study guide and you study that. If you have the practice test, take your first practice test, see where you are, get your baseline score, and then from there, you look at your test result, your practice test result, and then you study the areas where you scored the lowest before you take another practice test. And as you're taking those practice tests, you should be taking notes, because they're going to show you what the wrong answers are, and they're going to explain why they're wrong. Take notes on that information. So it just kind of depends on where you are in your process. If you have time, you can just kind of start from the beginning and just kind of take your time going through each one in order. But if you're on crunch time, you just really gonna have to start with those areas where you struggle with. And then, like I said, if you're avoiding it, it's probably because you struggle with it, and you gotta go straight for those areas. Are they out there cutting grass right now? Hold on, guys. I think they out there cutting grass. Okay. Yeah, they must be cutting grass out there. Sorry, y'all. I'm doing a bunch of things at one time. Quism said I'm good, thank you. Still searching for jobs. Anybody have any tips? I'm NHA tomorrow, and I don't know where to. Oh, I just talked about where to start. So hopefully, Jada from New Jersey, hopefully that helped. I just answered the last person's question, and that's what you were asking. Anybody else, please chime in. So if you guys, I don't know if Amy is still here. If you guys have taken the test and you have some tips for anybody that's watching, please feel free to leave your tips in the comments. And do me a favor, guys, as you're watching, just like the video as you come in. Subscribe if you haven't already. That's just a free way to help support my channel. Thank you, guys. Is the refresher course based on questions based on what will be on the big test? Yep. Some of the reviews I've received says some of the practice questions I had were actually on the test. And you know why? It's because I used the test plan on the test, on the practice test. I used the test plan. I used the test plan to make sure all of the practice questions that I came up with actually was stuff on the test plan. So yeah, but at the same time, I always say don't get caught up in the practice questions. So even though you may see some of the same questions on there, please don't get caught up on that. Please don't. Always talk about the importance of the content, because then you're going to be upset if you see questions that you're going to be like, that question wasn't on the practice test. Don't get caught up in the questions. I've been saying that since I started this channel. You may see some of the same questions, but do not get caught up in expecting that, because then you're going to be disappointed. So please, guys, whatever you do, try not to get caught up in the questions. If you see the same questions, great, but I want you to be prepared to not see the questions. And Sandra said, because these courses don't teach everything. I just mentioned that, yeah. So some of the stuff that you learn in school, is there are things you do need to know as a medical assistant, but then there's going to be some stuff that's on the exam that you're not going to get in school, and that's just the reality of it. That's just how it is. There's going to be some stuff you see on the practice test, and you're going to be like, wow, I've never seen this before. And that's because some of the stuff that they cover on certification is not in your textbooks. That's why you need to get the study material. You guys that's asking for the refresher course, it's www.marefreshercourse.com. So it should be in the description of the video. Simply just go to www.marefreshercourse.com. I hate that they're out there cutting grass right now while I'm live. They could have did this earlier while I was working. You're welcome, Tady. I did see on TikTok people said it's more so scenarios, and Kahoot should not be used to study. No, Kahoot is fine. Kahoot is fine. Kahoot and Quizlet. The only thing is both of those are made by everyday people. So you just have to just keep that in mind. But they're both good study materials to use. Just make sure, just keep in mind that you want to double check those answers. Truth be told, I even seen a discrepancy on the NHA website, and my program coordinator, they ended up emailing them about it. But it happens. But especially on Kahoot and Quizlet, these are regular people like you and me that's deciding to create these, and so you just have to keep that in mind. But those are good free options to use for studying. So I wouldn't say don't use them. I would just say use with caution and just double check your answers just to make sure. And it is a lot of, what would you do in this situation? It's a lot of, Miss Johnson is asking this. What would you do in this situation? You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So yeah, there are a lot of scenario questions. So for anybody that's just coming in right now, I am cooking while I'm on live with you guys. Thank y'all for anybody still on here that's been here from the beginning. Thank you guys for hanging in there with me on here today while I am cooking. I know y'all don't normally see me like this, but I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go live. Oh, you know what? I think I opened the wrong one. Is this the right one? Chicken. Hold on. I think I opened the wrong one. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put this one up. That's not the one I like. It's this one. I'm gonna have to put that one in something else so I can figure out what else I'm gonna make that one with. Best sneakers of all time? I don't know. Anybody got an answer to that? The best sneakers of all time? I will say, as a medical assistant, you definitely need some comfortable sneakers. I will say that. I will definitely say that. But what's the best ones? I don't know. I just use some sneakers that I got off Amazon that works really good. I don't know the brand of them though. I don't know. Can somebody else answer that? What's the best sneakers of all time? I just know they need to be comfortable because as an MA, you're gonna be on your feet all day. Somebody said, "Can I get a plate?" Sure, you can. Everybody can get a plate. I'm doing my internship. I'm guessing you mean externship. How is that going, Jessica? So for those of you that don't know, externship is the portion of your medical assistant course where you are working in an actual doctor's office. You are getting your hands-on training, and you are also you're getting a certain amount of hours, and it varies per school. And then if you're taking an RMA, it has to be 160 hours. So other than that, it kind of varies. And you are getting, it's a part of the curriculum for many schools. So for many schools, you have to do that part, or you're not a medical assistant. You're not able to finish the program. You can do everything. You can pass certification, but if you don't do externship, you're not a medical assistant. And so that's what externship is, and it does come as experience. I do recommend adding it to your resume when you guys are finished with externship. Everything you learn, you add it to your resume because now it's a skill. I hope y'all don't make me mess nothing up while y'all got me on live while I'm cooking. Cause like I said, last time I was on live cooking, I messed up. So hopefully that don't happen this time. Hello, Keisha. Are you saying hola? Oh no, Keisha, you already on here, right? Unless it's another Keisha Barnett that was on. I know it was a Keisha. Was it Keisha Barnett? Oh, yeah, the same one. Are you saying? I'm not sure what you're saying. Sandra says, I gotta cook too. Just left class. Okay, Sandra. Get home safely. Wow, I don't understand this. I don't know if it's this stove. Y'all know I just moved, right? But I'm still getting used to my stove because it works too good. Like it gets so hot so quick. Like at my old house, I had to put everything on high, but this one is like you could literally high. It's like it almost burns the pan or something. Like I'm getting this stove works too good. Like it's already burning my pot a little bit on the side. Definitely don't want to burn my pot up. Oh, Hoka. Oh, that's what you said. Okay. She said, so Keisha says the best shoes for me is Hoka. I'm not familiar with those, but I'll look them up. If you say those are the best, I'll look it up. I'm all for some recommendations. Let me empty this dishwasher too while I'm right here. And put these other dishes in. So sorry I'm off the screen, guys. I'm just kind of walking back and forth. Let me know if you guys have any other questions too. I don't really see any others popping up. They are pricey but good. Hey, Brianna. So for those of you that's watching live, do you guys want to know a secret that I haven't told anybody on social media yet? It's not really a secret, but it's just something that I haven't shared really publicly yet. Only people that I know this. Let me know in the comments if y'all want me to share it. Cause wicked people doing everything, anything over for blood. Okay, I don't know what that is. So do you provide the testing materials? Yeah. So www.marefreshercourse.com. It's all one word, no space. www.marefreshercourse.com. If somebody can type it in the chat, that would be perfect, and I can pin it. But yes, that's the study material. That's what my study material is. So does anybody want me to share my news? I only saw one person say share. Let me know, guys, and I'll share. Brianna says, I'm new here. I just started watching your videos last month. Hey, Brianna. Let me know where you are in your where are you in your journey? Are you in school? Are you a new MA? Are you getting ready for certification? Let me know where you are. Let me know where you are. Okay, all right, that's Sophie. I just wanted to make sure y'all want to know. So, guys, so y'all know I have a daughter. She's 20, and my daughter is expecting. So, I will be a grandmother in August. So, she's having a girl. I have not shared this on any social media yet, like only people we know. But some of you guys, I have shared a little bit about my daughter here. So, she was in her second year of college. She's 20, and she was a sophomore. And so she is home now because we were in DC. We just moved to Georgia, and she was going to school in Ohio, and so she was on her winter break when she found out, and so she ended up not going back. So she's taking a break. She's taking some online classes right now, though. She's doing medical office administration for right now. Cause I'm like, listen, you're gonna do something quick, you know. So thank you, Keisha. But yeah, so that's my news. Like I said, it's not really a secret. It's just not everybody's business, so I haven't shared it really publicly yet. Um, so yeah. Brianna says, I just finished externship. Okay, awesome, Brianna. How was it? Hopefully they're hiring, or at least can refer you somewhere that's hiring. And what kind of specialty was it? Share the details. Let us know how it was and give the people something to expect. Thank you, Brianna. Thank you, guys. So it's definitely an adjustment. I'm getting used to the thought of being I feel like I'm too young to be a grandma, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. So for those of you that just joined me, I've been in here cooking as I got you guys on live. This is empty. I need some more garlic powder. Thank you guys that have been hanging in here with me. Be a grandma. Yeah, I don't know yet what I'm gonna have her call me. I don't know yet. I've heard grandma, I've heard Gigi, I've heard G-ma, I've heard love, I've heard honey, all of that. I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Oh, so you can't hear it. I don't hear them anymore right now, so I'm glad, Fabiola. Thank you for letting me know you can't hear it, because it a little while ago it was really loud out back. Brianna said I didn't like it. They were overwhelming with two different. Oh, got you. Okay, so yeah, yeah. So you probably wouldn't want to get hired there anyway. And I usually tell people when you're on externship, if they want to hire you, just go ahead and take it, just to get the experience. But if it's too much, like if you're saying it's overwhelming and you know you won't be able to do it, then I understand that too. But I do usually tell people, and this is for anybody else watching, not just you, but I do usually tell people when you're an externship, even if you don't like it, maybe they're not paying as much as you want it, I usually always tell people to just go ahead and take the position. And then when you take the position, you start working, just be looking for a new job. Because honestly, it's easier to find a job when you have a job. And I don't know exactly why that is. Well, I have a theory. I have a thought. My thought is this, and I was talking to my daughter about it too. Every time I've gone into a job interview where I was like just really confident in myself and confident in my ability, and I went into that interview knowing that I'm okay whether I get the job or not, I always got it. And I think part of that was because I already had a job. And it was like, I really honestly felt like I'm okay either way. And I think just having that confident energy and just like, listen, I do want this job, but I'm okay. You know what I mean? Like I know that just being confident in yourself, I really think that that's a part of it. So I think maybe that's a reason why. But then also when they see you're working, when they're looking at your resume, they see you already working and getting experience. Of course, that plays a part as well. But I just meant the other part of it, as far as like just having that confident energy, and you know what I mean. Um, Thank you. I plan to sign up by Monday. Okay, Sandra. You should do a cooking with Miss K. Sandra, listen, that's a good idea. Oh, that's funny. Cooking with Miss K. That is too funny. I might, you know what, Sandra? I might name that video this. Once I finish this live video, I may rename the video Cooking with Miss K and Q&A. How does that sound, Sandra? I think I might do that. Cooking with Miss K, Q&A while cooking with Miss K. Something like that. I don't know. I think I'll do that. That's a good idea. Thank you. My boys called my mother. Oh, Emma. At first, I liked it, but my second week did that. I get it. Listen, Brianna, I get it. Are you able to at least? Hopefully, you can at least try to get a recommendation from them, a recommendation letter. See if you. I don't know how things work there. If they have an office manager, or if the bosses are actually. I mean, if the doctors are actually the boss, but I would at least try to get a recommendation, especially if you were doing well and you were working your behind off. Like, I would definitely try to get a recommendation, at least get a recommendation letter. Miss K, please tell me what I should do. I'm taking my CCMA exam next month. So I kind of already went over this. Is that Rakia? I think it's Rakira. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. But I did talk about this already. Just make sure you have a study schedule. Make sure you have the study material. And you take your test next month. So I don't know when. I don't know if you have actual month, or because next month is Saturday. It's Friday. So next month could be this weekend. So I don't know how long you have. If you have a long time, at least a month, you can study the schedule material in order. So go by each module in order, get the lesson, take the quiz, use the test plan and check off and highlight everything you learn by July. Okay, so you have some time. So just when you're going through the study material, go through it in order. Listen to the material, the lesson, take the quiz. As you're learning this material, you want to also have the test plan, and everything that you learn, you want to highlight it and check it off on the test plan to make sure that test plan is fully complete before you take your test. And why do I say that? Because the test plan literally goes over everything you need to know for the test. So if you make sure everything is checked off on the test plan, which tells you everything you need to know for the test, then you will have gone over everything that you need to know. Okay. So that's why I always tell you guys, download the test plan. All you do is whatever test you're taking, NCCT, CCMA, whatever, just go to Google, download, and then just type in test plan for the CCMA. It's going to take you there, download it, print it out, check off everything you already know, everything you don't know. You go back to your study material to find out. As long as you go over that test plan, you will know you will have gone over every single thing you need to know for the test. So that's my number one tip, guys. And for those of you that watch me all the time, you probably hear me say it all the time, and you probably tired of hearing me say it, but I'm gonna always say that. And that's why I get that question all the time. That's why sometimes when you guys ask it, I just be like, listen, go to my video, because I say the same thing over and over. And sometimes I don't feel like repeating it. But sometimes I need to. Download the test plan and use it as your guide. Oh, your weakness is diagnostic testing. Perfect. Thank you for letting me know. That's exactly where you want to go first. If that's your weakness, then you go right to that area on the study guide. I'm guessing you mean diagnostic testing, like knowing the difference between, the different tests, x-rays, MRIs, all of that, CT scans, and whatever other diagnostic testing, in the office, maybe EKGs, strep tests. I don't know. Diagnostic testing can include so much. So I would just go to those areas on the study guide and and um and study those areas, and then as you do study it and you learn it, check it off on the test plan. Same thing for EKG. Somebody said their weakness is EKG. Go to that part on the study guide. Okay, Ricky is your name. I take my NCCT on May 1st. Will the CCMA warn you? Oh yeah, definitely. Yes. So Brianna just asked, will my videos on the CCMA? Yeah. So when I first started, Brianna, I just haven't named them, but it's really just MA certification because they all ask the same type of questions. Absolutely. She wanted to know if my CCMA videos would help with the NCCT. Absolutely. They all ask the same type of questions. And for those of you that want to test that and you don't believe me, just go download the test plan for each of the exams and watch you see the same information. I did a live one time where I actually pulled all of them up just to show you guys that the same information was on each test plan. Sandra taking hers in July as well. So for those of you that have time, y'all taking y'all's in July, you got a couple of months. So, because we about to be in May this weekend. So you got time. So you go in order. So if you have my MA refresher course, you start at module 1. I have video lessons. You listen to the lesson. You take your quiz. Whenever you need your quiz reset, you just send me an email. But there's 12 modules altogether, and then with quizzes in them, and then also practice tests at the end. And so you got time to spread that out and also go over your test plan as you're doing it. Do you still have time? Do I still have time? Yeah, definitely. It's marefreshercourse.com, Ricky. Yep, you still have time. If it's not in the description of this video, I know it's in the last one, but you can always just go to marefreshercourse.com too. Brianna says I've been watching them all. Is billing and coding part of the CCMA test? So yeah, briefly, it's not a lot on there. It's not a lot of billing and coding. The most you have to know when it comes to billing and coding, when it comes to the CCMA exam, the most you have to know is making sure you know the difference between code and like the CPT code and the ICD-10. You know, CPT is procedure codes. ICD-10 codes are the diagnosis codes. So you guys know the CPT code tells the insurance company what was done. The ICD-10 code is the diagnosis code. It tells the doctor why. So that's the thing you do need to know. Another thing you need to know about those is that they may ask you about what modifiers are. So a modifier, it makes a diagnosis code more specific, okay? So the more modifiers you add, the more specific the diagnosis code. So like for an example, let's say the diagnosis is a rash, right? And then you add a modifier to make it a diaper rash. You know what I mean? It makes it more specific. Or a modifier may add, the cause of the rash. So let's just say it's a rash and a person had an allergic reaction. You can add a modifier to add that it was an allergic reaction to poison ivy. So the more, and ICD-10 codes, they could be anywhere from 4 to 7 characters, and the more characters you add, the more specific it becomes. And then with something else with billing and coding. And then with the billing part of it, making sure what the COB, EOB, and AOB is. So for an example, COB is a coordination of benefits, determining which one is primary, secondary, or tertiary if the patient has 3 insurances. And then yeah, I like my broccoli soft. Some people like hard broccoli. How y'all like your broccoli? I like my broccoli soft. My father used to make it like that when I was young. And so I like my broccoli a little soft. So that's why I'm cooking it longer than most people probably do. I love it soft and buttery with some salt on it. But anyway, coordination benefits is determining which one is primary, secondary, tertiary. And then AOB is the assignment of benefits. You do have to know what that is. And that is the form that the patient signs that allows the doctor to bill their insurance directly. With that form, they are literally assigning their benefits to the doctor. And then you got the EOB, which is the explanation of benefits. And that's the document that goes to the patient that explains, how much of the visit was covered, how much of the deductible was used, if anything is still owed, right? That's the explanation of benefits, and it goes to the patients. The other part of the explanation of benefits that you need to know is the version that goes to the doctor's office is the remittance advice. Okay, so it's the explanation of benefits, but this one goes to the doctor's office, and it lets the doctor know same thing, what was covered and all of that, what the patient still owes. So it's not a lot of billing and coding when it comes to the CCMA. That's about as much as you want to get into it with the CCA. So hopefully that helps. Ricky, or who was at the X? No, Sandra. Hopefully that was helpful. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off now. It's soft enough. I don't want it to be mush, but I do like my broccoli soft. I don't like no hard broccoli. That's why I usually don't like restaurant broccoli. It's rare that I like the broccoli served at restaurants because it just be so hard. All right. You're welcome, Ricky. I have trouble with pharmacology, like with the medication and the math part. So I have videos on that. So if you look on my channel, anytime, I will say this, anytime you want to know if I have a video on a certain thing, just type Miss K in that topic. So if you type in Miss K dosage calculations, my video will come up. So I do have videos on that. And the medication, the class of medications, I did a whole series on that, Brianna. So if you just go to search, if you can't find it on my channel, because I have a lot of videos on my channel, just search in the search bar. You just go Miss K medication classifications, or pharmacology Miss K, or dosage calculation Miss K. It should take you directly to those videos if you cannot find it. All right, guys, let me move this up. I'm emptying my dishwasher, so I'm trying to put this stuff in the cabinet, and I got my phone tripod in front of the cabinet too. Brianna, you like yours soft too? I like mine soft. I don't like no hard broccoli. Like I said, my father, he used to make it that way, and I just got so used to that. Oh, my father's broccoli was so good. He would put butter and salt and just, I know some people like cheese on their broccoli. I never liked cheese on my broccoli. But yeah, my father got me liking it like that. Sorry, y'all, I'm away from the camera. I'm emptying my dishwasher right now. Y'all are hanging in there with me today. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for hanging in there. Maybe I'll do these more often. I did it once before. I was live while I was cooking, and I messed up. I messed my food up. I forgot what I did wrong, but that was my first time being live while cooking, and I messed up what I was doing. Fabiola said, I love it. But yeah, guys, anybody that's preparing for certification, just make sure you stick to that schedule. That's the biggest piece of advice I can say, guys. You just have to not just set it, but actually stick to it, because it's easy to create a schedule. It's hard to stick to it. And so you just got to keep your why in front of you. And that's with everything. I always say you got to know your why. All right, y'all. So now my chicken, dang, I've been on here with y'all for a long time. My chicken is already ready to come out so I can put the barbecue sauce on it. So I'm about to put some barbecue sauce on my chicken, y'all. And then I'm going to put it back in the oven. So I put my chicken on for 45 minutes. Well, actually 50 minutes. And I'm still on here with you guys. And y'all been hanging in there too. I have trouble with blood pressure. Have you watched my video on blood pressure, Victoria? If you haven't already, Victoria, make sure you watch my video on blood pressure. Um, I'm guessing you mean you're having trouble doing blood pressure. So if you type Miss K blood pressure, it'll come up. Ooh, I need to empty some of this juice out here. Screen. I'm emptying some of this juice out of this chicken so I can put my barbecue sauce on. But yeah, I'm guessing you mean that you have trouble with blood pressure. Just check out my video. The thing about it is, it's hard for me unless I'm right there with you. It's hard for me to help you with whatever you're having trouble with. So I would say watch that video, and then honestly, it's going to be about practice, 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 practice. You're going to have to practice. This is why I have my students. They have to practice on at least three different people every single week. Oh, reading it. Oh, just practice. So remember the bolder, the longer lines goes by tens, and the smaller lines go by twos. That's all. Yeah, this is my barbecue sauce I'm using, Sweet Baby Ray's honey barbecue sauce. Just practice. That's all. And you want to memorize it because you should be able to, when you're checking blood pressure, you should easily be able to, you should be able to easily read it. You shouldn't have to read it and then you counting 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. You need to be able to just look right at it. Oh, that's 122 over 74, or that's 130 over 80, right? Use this to spread out my barbecue sauce, guys. So you should be able to just read it right out. So it's just a matter of practice. That's all. With anything that you're learning for the first time, practice is what's going to help you. Practice, like they say, practice makes perfect. Blood pressure is honestly, aside from like phlebotomy, which a lot of people struggle with, I personally think that blood pressure is probably the most challenging skill. So if you're struggling with blood pressure, don't feel bad about it. You just got to practice. I usually tell people practice on at least three different people a week. Because the more you do it, the better you'll become at it. Anybody that's just joining right now, I'm just in the middle of cooking while I'm on live with you guys. I'm just adding my barbecue sauce to my chicken right now. Just spreading it all over here. Y'all are really behind the scenes with me today. All right. And y'all know this is not a cooking channel. I'm not a chef or anything like that. I just like to cook. I gotta cook. I don't eat out every single day. I gotta cook. All right, so spread that. I put my foil back on. All right, let me set a 15 minutes. Ooh, okay. All right, guys, I'm back. I'm sorry. Y'all are really still hanging in there. Thank y'all. Easy way to remember where to place each. Oh, and what each. Oh, so honestly, when it comes to the EKG placements, just remembering your keywords. So your 1 and 2 is, of course, always going to be at your fourth intercostal space. V1 is at the right of the sternum. V2 is at the left. And then when it comes to V4, V5, and V6, just remembering those key terms. So V4 is at the fifth intercostal space at the mid clavicular line. V5 is at the fifth intercostal space at the anterior axillary line. And then V6 is at the fifth intercostal space at the mid axillary. So really just those key words. 4, 5, and 6. 4 again is mid clavicular. 5 is anterior axillary, and then 6 is mid axillary. And for those of you that have already done EKGs, just think about where you're placing them. That's all. All right, guys, I'm going to get